What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda news roundup. I'm recording this late on Friday night after the late night agenda because there were lots of stories that came through when we were live, and I didn't want you guys on Saturday morning to go and have to go back through an entire 1 hour 45 minute stream to get the bits of news that you want. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the latest from the FA and the charges towards Liverpool, Everton, SIPKE Hulshof and ARNE Slot. We're going to speak about an interesting new development about a player Liverpool are apparently interested in from Paris Saint-Germain. And on the reverse of that, we're going to talk a little bit about Paris Saint-Germain's interest in Liverpool's Ibrahim Konate. That and lots more coming up over the next few minutes. Today, well, you'll be watching this on Saturday. I won't be live at all today. The preview is going to come out later on this evening for the Wolves game, so I hope you get a chance to check that one out. And until then, I'm going to go on with the news. So, you know the drill. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a like if you enjoy it. And of course, as you can see in the corner, we're closing in 1,105 subscribers away from 300k. Right, so the FA released their statement today to confirm the charges. So they've said Everton, Liverpool, ARNE Slot and SIPKE Hulshof have been charged following the Premier League fixture between the clubs on Wednesday, the 12th of February. It is alleged that both clubs failed to ensure their players and or technical area occupants did not behave in an improper and or provocative way following the final whistle. The Liverpool manager allegedly acted in an improper manner and or used insulting and or abusive words and or behaviour towards both the match referee and an assistant referee after the match had finished. It is alleged that Liverpool's assistant manager acted in an improper manner and or used insulting and or abusive words and or behaviour towards a match official, which led to his dismissal. It is further alleged that he acted in an improper manner and or used insulting and or abusive words towards a fourth official. Everton and Liverpool, ARNE Slot and SIPKE Hulshof have until next Wednesday, 19th of February, to provide their respective responses. So after that, if they don't accept the charges, it will go to a hearing. So you'll have till Wednesday for Liverpool to give their response. Then you have 3 days for the Premier League to respond to that. And then it'll probably be 10 days from that when you'll have a hearing, if indeed it goes that far. And then we'll know the outcome of all of this. So that's where we're at with that. Next up, Ibrahim Konate. Let's talk about him for a minute. There's been lots of stories suggesting that he loves Liverpool, that Liverpool want him to stay, and that he wants to stay, and I think we can take all that for granted. He loves the club, there's no doubt about that. But what we haven't seen yet is the club put a contract offer that is signable to Ibrahim Konate on the table. And while that's playing out, you're going to start seeing stories like this next one. It's from ESPN UK, and they say Paris Saint-Germain are keen to sign Liverpool defender Ibrahim Konate in the summer, and the player is interested in a move to the Ligue 1 club. Now look, do I think he's going to go to PSG? No, I don't. I think this is his agent doing his job, which is trying to give Liverpool a little nudge to say, come on now, there's interest in him from elsewhere. But think about it logically. He's a centre-back that has come on leaps and bounds since he joined Liverpool. He's a future leader of the defence whenever Virgil departs, and hopefully that's in a few years' time. He's the right age profile. He is putting in great performances. So just get the money out, pay the man, and stop embarrassing us again, because it is becoming a joke now that Liverpool cannot just do these things seamlessly. These offers have been going back and forth to Konate for a long time. I don't think Konate is going to be asking for anything unreasonable, because he doesn't seem like the type, and also he's earned the right to get a big contract. So can we please stop embarrassing ourselves as a club and get it done? What we'd seen with Bayern Munich recently: Jamal Musiala, done. Manuel Neuer, done. Alphonso Davies, done. Manchester United got their contract done. Manchester City got their contracts done. But us, we nickel and dime and drag this out, and it's embarrassing and it's not befitting of the club. So we need to get those sorted. But I wouldn't really be too concerned with losing Ibrahim Konate. I think he wants to stay, and this would be a fallback if it doesn't work out. And if it doesn't work out, then we know who to look for here: Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes and FSG, and the cheapness. But I can't see why they don't give it to him, because they're not going to find a better replacement. Unai Emery has been speaking a little bit. Aston Villa tried to have the game against Liverpool moved to an alternative time because they would have 5 games in 14 days. Now, we've had 5 in 15 days. But it doesn't mean that Unai Emery and Villa aren't right to be upset about it. There's been far too many congested fixtures for a long time, and this is what the Aston Villa managers had to say. We were planning 3 weeks of no midweek games, but we're only going to have 2. Why? Because the schedule doesn't make sense. We have to accept it. It's not fair for us. We're going to play a lot of matches in a row in February and not as many in March, because we're in the Champions League and the FA Cup. We have matches to play, but only 1 in the Premier League in March. It's not really fair for us. It is not our job. It's the responsibility for people who set the schedule. They need to be demanding and fair with their decisions. We're going to prepare for tomorrow, then for Liverpool and Chelsea. It's a key moment for us. And look, I fully understand where he's coming from. Same as if ARNE said it, or Guardiola said it, or Arteta said it. I totally sympathise with the managers in this regard. We've just set off on our own 5 games in 15 days. They have 5 games in 14 days. It's difficult. And I wish the Premier League would perhaps look after some of the clubs competing in the latter stages of Europe and do what other leagues have done, which is give them more breaks. But, you know, maybe there isn't any room in the schedule. But again, greed and money dictate that schedule. So we're moving on now to a big developing story that comes from Sam Maguire and Anfield Sector. And they posted to say, Liverpool are keeping a close eye on Warren Zaire-Emery and are prepared to go big on him if given encouragement. The PSG youngster ticks a lot of boxes for an ARNE slot midfielder. More reporting on this, they say the possibility of joining Liverpool is an alluring prospect to the young midfielder. He's already held talks with Ibrahim Konate about a potential move to Merseyside. Another piece here, again credited to Sam, said Liverpool hugely admires Zaire-Emery. The club's recruitment team sees him as the perfect option for Arne Slot's style of play. He's both technically gifted and covers a lot of ground. Now, I'm going to be entirely honest with you and say I have watched little to none of this young man playing football. So I want to know from you guys who will have watched maybe more PSG games or more of the French league than I have, would you be happy if this guy came in to complement the midfield that we already have there? Let me know your thoughts. If Zubimendi doesn't work out and this is the play we've turned our attention to, is he good enough to come into that Liverpool midfield? I'm, as I said, being entirely honest and saying I have no idea. I've not seen any numbers mentioned or anything about it either, so I would love to know your thoughts on that one. But for me, if we get a midfielder in and he's one the manager's happy with, hey, look, who am I to question that? I just want the manager to get the players that he wants in. And if that's this young man from PSG, then so be it. Apparently, as I said, he's already had a chat with Ibu as well. And I'm sure Ibu was singing the praises of what it's like to play at Anfield. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section. That is it from me, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, keep an eye out later on today. I think about 4 o'clock you'll see the preview coming out for the Wolves game. And then we will be live from 12:45 tomorrow. Although, I say tomorrow, I'm recording this late on the Friday night. But when you're watching this, it'll be Saturday. So we'll be live from 12:45 for the watch along of the Wolves game with our match reaction, player ratings, and everything else on a match day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you again for your support. You can see we're closing in on 300,000 subscribers. We're incredibly excited to try and get there. And thank you once again for your support. We'll talk soon.